Welcome to the Whiskey Roundtable. We are your hosts.
Big G.
Karen Helen Keller.
Doc Dunbar.
Hey guys.
What's up, kids?
We're back after a week.
After 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Mm-hmm. Yeah, a week missed, I should have said.
Everybody's doing good now, and
everybody's happy and healthy, I think.
We think. Knock on wood.
Everybody's
Knock on wood.
still, well, we're still at home.
Right.
Yeah.
We're doing whatever, but yeah.
I'm still at home.
But hey, the
I'm not at
restaurant's
home.
open.
I'm still working.
Some restaurants starting to open and that kind of stuff.
Village Martini.
Exciting. That fits in
remodeled the
a little
whole
bit
place.
Jeff's
It looks
redoing
beautiful.
it. It does. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
We're gonna break it in style.
Yeah. We have.
Ready for us, Jeff?
Jeff, I know. Well, Jeff might not be watching because he's been working morning, noon, and night to get that place back together.
He is.
So
He's kicking ass
it's going to be
too.
very, very, very nice. And we have Mark Anderson, our best
top fan.
Our top
Woohoo!
fan, is here today in the audience, and the Whiskey Wizard's wife, Shauna.
Yeah.
Shauna Wizard.
Shauna Wizard. We got to get you a matching cape.
Yeah, we get you a matching cape.
Matching hat.
Yeah.
Matching cape.
One with 2 horns on the back. So, just saying.
So I've started breaking into some of my whiskey over this You know,
You
my
did?
good stuff. Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding.
What? Okay, what do you
yeah.
got?
Well,
I didn't. I thought everything you had was good.
I know.
Okay. I know Mark's bar was.
You know,
Everything is good, but it's like the extra good. So.
Like my Offerman Lagavulin and my Old Ezra 7.
Nice.
Finished off the Wathen single barrel last week. So
Holy cow.
you know, for me, it's not for collecting; it's for sharing with your friends and with yourself.
And
I was going to say, who are you sharing
yeah.
with in
Well,
lockdown?
Shauna's been actually
I wasn't there.
helping
Mark,
more these
Mark,
days.
did you get the call? No, Mark didn't get the call either.
Me neither.
Holy shit. Huh.
Now we know.
Yeah, now we know. I'm sure Matt and Greg were there.
So hopefully we get into more of that soon.
Yeah.
So
Love
I don't know.
breaking
Have
into
you
the good
guys
stuff.
been buying more stuff online since you've been home?
You know what? We add to our collection every week. Every week we bring in more.
I just did some online shopping yesterday. You know those ads that pop up
Me too.
for Facebook? And so I found this one place, and I can't remember the name right now, but it's this place in California, and they popped up on my Facebook feed. So I went out there last night, and I started shopping, and I bought, like, before I knew it, I bought like 8 bottles. And like Pinhook is one. I found my favorite. Long Branch for like $25.
Yeah, Long Branch 20. That was a great
So
price.
I bought a couple bottles of that because you can never have enough of that. And some other crap. I don't know. I was like, yelling across the room, Greg, have you tried this? He goes, no. I'm like, okay, add to basket. So it'll be like Christmas when we get the delivery, but I'm looking forward.
I bought some Schlivovitz, some 10-year 100 proof and some 6-year 90-some proof aged. That's for my friends at the Schnitzelhaus that we will indulge as the weather gets better. And I picked up some other stuff that I won't mention that Mark and me are going to try tonight. And I also got, and I think Scott Royblatt got me a bottle as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I picked up 3, which are coming, 3 Old Forester single barrel picks.
From down in Kentucky?
We're down in Kentucky, and Fackler wants one of them, so I told him I'd get him one too. So I've got a double, so he can have one, I can have one. So
Yeah, I've been doing some boredom buying online too.
Boredom buying?
Yeah. Yesterday I ordered a chicken and an egg from Amazon, so I'll let you know.
Did you order
Which one comes first?
Did you order toast too and hash browns? I mean, what do you?
This whole chicken and the egg story.
Chicken and
You
the
missed
egg.
it.
What was the chicken
Oh.
and the egg? What?
Just kidding.
Gotcha. What comes first, the chicken or
Yeah.
the egg?
I don't know.
Exactly. He's going to answer that long
But I'm glad
question.
that I'm glad things are starting to open up because I'm so sick of this
I'm telling you.
COVID business.
Me too.
Getting a little slap, well, not a little slap
Yes.
happy, but very slap happy.
I don't know if you guys saw last week. They said it was the first case of, first case they tested. It was a human to dog transmission of COVID, and
Dog
I'm
lab.
thinking, wait a minute, how does the dog get tested?
Yeah,
I can't get tested.
I don't buy any of this of the COVID thing at all. That's just my personal opinion.
I read somewhere that a kiwi tested positive too. It's like,
Yeah, I don't.
how does it?
Say kiwi or wee wee?
Okay, well, in your case, honey, it's the same thing. Just kidding. I love you, dear.
I know.
I
I'm
don't.
hung like a fighting rat.
Hopefully, it's all going to be a memory sooner than later. But
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be like how you have your grandparents like, oh well, she's so frugal because she lived through the Great Depression. It's going to be like someday like, why does Grandma always Clorox wipe
Right.
every grocery bag when she gets home?
Everything but the toilet seat. I don't
Well,
get
she
it.
lived through the great COVID-19 pandemic. Just don't, whatever you do,
Don't
ask
live
her
the
about
toilet
it.
seat.
Don't ask her about it.
But if you need toilet paper,
What if
I'm
you
sure
need
she
toilet
still has
paper?
about 15 cases.
Just put your hand in the automatic toilet. That's a joke. I'll leave it out there.
Does,
I don't.
and the reporting on all this stuff does anybody know anything? I mean, that's kind of what I've been saying, like, through this, because I follow what's going on. And it wasn't like 3 weeks ago, like, Kim Jong-un was brain dead after a coronary surgery.
He's been brain dead his whole life. I don't know. You guys are just figuring
suddenly,
that out now?
like, now he's out playing golf.
Yeah,
And, you know.
No pictures.
Yeah.
They had him over a balcony. He was waving like this, and the wind started blowing.
Was he with Andrew McCarthy and Jonathan Silverman from like Weekend at Bernie's?
Yeah, I don't know.
So today is the first day I wore a mask ever. I gotta tell you this funny story.
This is so funny.
So we had to take Karen's car in to get oil change.
I'm wearing my Jeep hat because I'm missing my Jeep tonight.
So we dropped that off over at Ganley, and she's like, let's get something to eat or whatever. We do all that stuff. And so we shoot out to Solon. I don't even remember what we went to Solon for. But anyway.
I forget too.
We went to the grocery store. Went to Market District.
Market District, that's right.
To go do a little grocery shopping.
Alcohol shopping.
Well, it ended up being some alcohol shopping, but all I bought was the Evan Williams 12 single barrel, 2012. But
no, I bought a couple beers too.
Oh, that's right. But beers aren't like alcohol. Though. So anyway, we on the way there we see the sign, garage sale. She's like, "You want to hit the garage sale?" She's like, "Nah, I didn't get any cash out of the bank." But I said, "Yeah, you know what? Screw it." So we're coming back, and we're going to turn to come back towards home, and said, "You sure you don't want to hit that garage sale?" She said, "I'm sure." I'm like, "Okay." And I drive like one driveway, hit the brakes. She goes, "Where are you?" So we're going to that garage sale. So we go to the garage sale, and it's like this long bend around to like a cul-de-sac. We hit the long bend, and there had to be 30 cars there. You thought they were giving shit away over there, right? So as I truck through, we see the sign said, "Sorry, mask only." I'm like, okay, I get it. And out of the corner, because I'm a huge car guy, I'm a huge European car guy, a big Porsche fanatic, right? So, which doesn't have anything to do with this story, but you get it. But as I scan up in the driveway by the garage, there's this Lamborghini Aventador model car. Now, mind you, there's all these people in the driveway, and that's the only thing I see.
And he's about 50 yards away.
Oh, yeah. And I said, "Oh, we got to stop." She goes, "Why?" I go, "There's a Lamborghini Aventador there that's got to be for sale. I want to go buy it." Because I collect model cars. I have all kinds of European cars. So, get out. She goes, "What do you use for a mask?" I'm like, "Damn it." I'm like, she goes, "Wear a napkin or something." I go, "No, I got something in the back of the car." So I go to the back of the car. I pull out this beach towel. I'm like, I'm ready to rob the place, Nobody's going to know me, So I go walking over there, and sure as shit, there's this Lamborghini model, bigger than 1/18 scale, Lamborghini Aventador. So I was like, I look down, 50 cents. I mean, the thing's probably worth like $100. I'm like, whoop. Guess what? I'm a nickel shy. I said to Karen, "Well, we're trying to get money, all this stuff." I said, "Go to my car, go to the thing." And the guy, I guess the owner of the home, and maybe his son, they're laughing at me,
Yeah.
I'm like, I said, "Can you hold my car?" He says, "Sure." He holds the car. So finally she comes back with like a quarter. So now I got to overpay the guy, right? It's like, that's some bullshit, So I was like, "Here, keep the nickel, pal. Give me my car," and then we left. So that's my exciting story for the day.
That was so funny.
It just kills me. Like
I'm sorry. All the way home, I was saying to Karen, I said, "I just bought a Lamborghini today." But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just have to laugh when I see somebody. I look over in traffic and somebody's sitting there alone in their car with a mask on. I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, or jogging down the street or walking down the street alone. Anyway, it's
it doesn't
does nothing
seem
for you.
Well, I see a lot of people.
It doesn't protect you from anything. It's to protect others from you expelling droplets. That's the only thing it's supposed to do. But you see people sitting in their car all alone wearing this face cover.
I see them where there's
what are we doing?
The husband wearing a mask and the wife not, and vice versa in the car with the windows up, and they got their babushka jackets on and their hats, and I'm like, it's really not even that cold out, but people wearing it. I don't wear the mask. sorry. I go everywhere. People look at me. Nobody says nothing to me, which is smart. But I just keep doing my thing until they tell me to put a mask on.
Only if I'm going to be in a place where I'm going to be pretty close to people. Other than that.
Yeah, I think when I've been working from home, but when we go back to the office, I think we're going to have to wear a mask. So.
Like I'll have to wear it if I leave my office. I mean, it's.
I'll find
I'm praying that we don't go back when we have to do any of that nonsense.
Well, I'm supposed to wear one in the office. And I'm like, well, why do I have to do that?
Because you're the only one in the office.
I'm the only one in the office. Everyone else is not in the office, and that's fine. So I just finally said, well, you know what? He goes, well, it's not for you. It's for the people that come in. I said, well, I'm going to fix that right now. And I went over. I turned off the lights. I said, enjoy your weekend. Kicked him out. Closed the door. Locked it. Turned off the lights, and went right back to work. I'm not even letting anybody in. I don't even care. I'm not putting a mask. To sit there all day by myself with the mask on, get a better chance of my mother crawling out of her urn.
So what are you smoking?
I am smoking a house cigar from Royal Havana Cigars. It's a La Salomon, and we're the only other entity that has a cigar except for Davidoff. So that's what I'm smoking. Ecuadorian.
Yeah.
Habano.
All right.
Yeah.
Royal Havana, one of our good sponsors.
Havana, one of our great sponsors.
Absolutely. Is he back open?
He is open.
All right, great.
He is open. Yeah.
Good deal.
We spent a couple of weeks, once a week, going over there doing inventory, making sure he had everything that he needed so he could get his taxes done. So of course we snuck a cigar in here or there, but we really weren't breaking the rules. I mean, we just had to, it's business. What are you going to do? Got to get your taxes done, right?
You're working.
It is what it is.
What are you going to do?
So, what's the audience folks drinking out there? You got anybody?
Yeah, what's the audience
in
folks
the comments?
drinking?
Tell us
Buffalo.
what.
So Shauna says Buffalo Trace pre-show. Is that what you're drinking over there?
Single barrel.
Single barrel Buffalo Trace.
Oh, yeah, that's
All right.
special.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Nick says stop talking about wearing the stupid mask and drink the whiskey already.
Amen.
Nick, you are always pushing, getting that. Hurry up and get the whiskey done.
Pushing. And
Killing
Patrick Patterson is out there. He says, hey,
Patty.
Hey guys, and hey to Shauna over there.
All right.
How's the golf today?
Good till the monsoon came, right?
Well, he's in L.A., so he probably didn't have that problem.
No, I wonder if he felt the earthquake, though. My sister's out in Vegas.
Oh.
So I, texted her. It was like, 8 o'clock our time? So luckily she was up, She's like, no, I didn't feel it. So,
Yeah.
which I think is weird because it was supposed to be like
It was in
right
Vegas?
there.
Oh, she's a hard sleeper anyway.
Yeah.
She said she was up at 5, so.
Yeah, but her clock. 5 yesterday.
So let us know what you're all drinking out there.
Smoking endo, sipping on gin and juice, Derek.
Debo, my man. You go, boy.
Oh, Polarchek. Oh, you don't have the boys with you. That's why.
Right.
That's
I
why.
don't blame it.
Party.
I'd be slipping on more than gin and juice. Your hair's got to be gray by now with them two monsters.
What hair?
Yeah, what hair? He's got 2 boys. I consider them like my godchildren. They are so freaking
Trevor and
funny.
Grady.
They are so bad, but I just love them. They have no fear of those 2 little shits.
They're so funny.
They are funny. Good kids. Great kids.
Too
right.
funny. Thank God they take after their mother. Uh-huh.
So what are we tasting today? What's on the...
We are tasting...
We are going
go
to
ahead.
taste. Go ahead. Russell's Reserve Rye, the 6-year
6-year-old.
Yeah.
version. So you said they have another. Is it a single barrel rye?
Yeah, there's 2. They have 2 ryes. The other is a cask strength single barrel. So we'll have to peel that one over here one of these nights.
Right. We had... where Karen found this that she liked it was at Lizardville.
Oh, their barrel
And
pick
it was
great.
their barrel pick was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
It was. I wonder if they still have that there.
I'm sure they do.
Well, they're probably on a different barrel now. I mean, I would assume, but it was good stuff.
And during the COVID, we had a few. Unfortunately, I could only attend the one, but we had some tailgate parties. That was fun. Thanks to Mark Anderson and Steve Crease. Was he a part of that too?
Scott McElroy.
Scott. Okay. All right. So
McElroy.
Steve was just invited.
Stephen Klein.
Yeah.
Scott
Okay.
McElroy.
All right. So good. Got that. That was fun. Yeah, I was tore up when I got home that night.
Oh, and then you had to do a
Then
show.
I had to do the show. And I was fine I was fine until I got out of the car. I'm like, oh, holy shit, what the hell did I drink? But yeah,
Obviously
I try
not.
never ever to do that. I mean, I'm not that person, but man, I was fine. I didn't have. Got home, I had made some calls. Everything was good. I pull in the driveway, get out of the car. I'm like, whoa, where did that come from?
I told Doug, I go, he's going rogue tonight. I know he is.
And then and then I'm drunk because like I try to talk, and then whatever I say comes out like 7 seconds delay,
Like the Charlie Brown teacher.
The Charlie Brown teacher. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah. But it was fun. We had a great time.
Yeah.
We had a great time. And then a couple weeks ago, we were going to do the tailgate party, and then Dave showed up, Frank and Princess, and in the limo. We were going to go down there in the limo, and we never left the basement until
No.
like 3 o'clock in the morning. So that was a good day.
That was good.
Which is nice.
Which is nice. We got that going.
Got
So
that
I-
going for us.
Before we get into that, I got that Jefferson's Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
How many bottles of that do you have?
I have 2. I only have 2. I have like the second, and I think the fourth.
Well,
So-
I have Voyage. The one I just got was Voyage 21.
Right.
So.
So
We got to talk. We got to do that one sometime because it's an interesting thing for the audience. So they,
besides the ocean, I don't know. I'm sure they do, and I'm not being disrespectful to anybody out there that's listening. But I have a lot of different Jeffersons.
Yeah.
Chef's Collaboration and all these other different ones that a lot of people don't buy, or maybe they do buy, they just don't talk about it. But I love Jeffersons. And I love Woodford products. They're fantastic. But. I don't know why I don't drink more of it. It's really good stuff. I should. I have a whole bunch of different things there, but
It's like the
anyway,
forgotten
but
middle
for
child.
those that don't know, they put 30 barrels of whiskey on a marine research vessel, and it spends its entire aging traveling around the seas of the world,
and then the 4 or 5 barrel were surfing or driving
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
So,
but it comes with a little ship's log, and it tells you everywhere they went and all the weather
yeah,
conditions.
cool. Yeah.
So
Awesome.
That is cool. I didn't realize they did that.
The one that I just got, I mean, it seemed like it was rough weather everywhere they went. So I'm thinking in my mind, well, that's probably good.
Yeah, right.
Right? Because all that, you're going to get
Especially
a
with
lot
the change in the temperature
it's
and the
going to get
humidity.
a lot
and
more
everything
wood
else.
character with all that sloshing around.
All right.
Anyway, on to tonight's whiskey. So,
You want me to talk a little
why
bit
don't you
about
tell
it?
us about it, Karen?
So, this is a wild turkey product, which I learned early on in my bourbon tasting days, which has only been about 2 years, that it's my favorite distiller out there. And I think, for those of you that follow along, and when we did February, drink something you love, I brought the Long Branch to the table. Big wild turkey fan. I am going to throw a challenge out there and say when we do the blind tasting, I am 100% sure I will be able to identify a wild turkey product.
Okay, good.
Oh, just a wild turkey product.
Yeah, not like the exact one.
Not necessarily Long Branch.
No, I'm only 2 years in now.
All right,
Give me a
well,
break. But
we're going to do that. We're going to have to we have to think about how to craft this blind tasting challenge. But that's going to come up once we're able to go and do some remote shows on location and that kind of stuff.
I'm telling you, I will find that wild turkey.
All right. I'm
So-
gonna put you to that test.
So now we can use this clip in the future.
Yeah.
And you can all laugh at me because
Yeah.
I probably screwed that all up. But I really, really think
Can make a note
I
of
know it. So Wild Turkey, Jimmy Russell, and he's been with Wild Turkey for 65 and a half years.
Yes. In fact,
Unbelievable.
I think he's the oldest head distiller in the world, or something like that. It's pretty
Active, yes.
active,
He's the
but
oldest
still-
active master distiller in the
still
world.
working every day. Comes in. the day that I was there, just doing a tour, he was over at the next
Distillery.
mash tun or whatever, and talking to some guy and sampling it. And
Yeah, they
So-
those guys. It's amazing how good friends all those guys are.
Yeah.
They're still doing their family distilling, so to say. They're all like best of friends.
well, we did a whole thing on how all these
You know,
distilleries are related.
If I remember correctly, I think Jimmy Russell and Elmer T. Lee were friends.
They were. I actually, that's part of the research that I did. Him, Elmer Lee, and Booker No.
Yeah, Booker No,
They
right,
were,
yeah.
they used to hang out together.
Right.
So,
And like grew up together. Didn't they grow up together or something? Those guys?
I don't know
They
if
were
they
really
grew
good
up
friends.
together, but yeah, they were friends. And Jimmy is the last one standing.
Mm-hmm.
We lost Elmer and Booker some time ago. So, what I think is really interesting is that if you see Jimmy Russell today, he looks like kind of a shorter, stockier, stout guy. But in high school, he was actually a really, really good athlete. So he was on the All-Star Kentucky basketball team,
Huh.
which you don't picture somebody
Right.
of his stature being a basketball player, but he sure was. He also had held the high school record in the 100-yard dash.
Wow.
It was crazy. He thought he was going to grow up and be a professional baseball player one day.
Right? Yeah, I remember that. And
Or maybe even a coach or something along those lines. But thankfully for us, he got into the bourbon business. He says he believes he has not worked a day in his life because he's doing something he loves. And that is really a testament to his love of bourbon, because if you figure 65 and a half years, it's almost 16,000 days this man has gone to work just on a regular calendar. If
Right.
he's probably around the clock, but they say he's never missed a day at work. So amazing history out there. He actually learned everything he knew from distillers that were actually distilling prior to Prohibition in 1920.
Wow.
If that gives you some history behind how long he has been around. He is the third master distiller at Wild Turkey. He learned from Bill Hughes, who was the second master distiller and was the son of the original master distiller at Wild Turkey, Ernest Rippey.
yep.
So it's pretty amazing that in Wild Turkey's history, which goes back to 1869, there have been 4 master distillers. You have the original, which is Ernest Rippey. Then you have his son, which is Bill Hughes. Bill Hughes turned it over to Jimmy Russell. And then in, I want to say 2014, 2015, Eddie Russell, Jimmy's son, became the 4th master distiller.
Yeah.
So amazing. I mean, if you look at that and you think about that, that is the Civil War era.
Right.
There have been 4.
So I see occasionally on my shopping trips, I see bottles of Rippey out there. Is that a
Yeah.
Wild Turkey product?
I do not know. I would assume
I would
the
assume it
Rippey
would
is
be.
R-I-P-Y.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's the
Yeah.
spelling that you've
Yeah, I think
seen,
it
but it
is the
seems
spelling
like
I see.
it might be. We
I wonder
can,
if it is. I'll have to chase
Maybe
the
somebody in
bottle
the
down.
audience knows.
Yeah, maybe somebody in the audience knows. Absolutely. Huh.
they interviewed some people that work with or for Jimmy, and they've asked, how would you describe him? And of course, they're all fantastic. Adjectives, adverbs, adjectives. I know my English. Fantastic, genuine, dependable, passionate,
Loyal.
just a normal guy, they
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of character. I know on a previous episode of the Whiskey Roundtable, to kind of give you some idea of him being a character, I mentioned that Jimmy drives a scooter around the distillery now that he's up in age, and based on advice from his grandson, he had it souped up which is really, really funny.
We never got a picture of that, did we?
No, I did go back and I was looking to see if I could find one. I could not. But as far as it being souped up, he's got 6-inch spinner rims. He's got turkey-shaped valve stems, black paint with flame decals on the fender. It's a personalized license plate that says Bourbon King, BRBN King. And he was supposed to be installing a set of truck nuts to hang from the back of the scooter.
Easy now, Jimmy. Settle down, son. Relax.
So, and that doesn't tell you what a character this man is. Right. I don't know what does, but
That's awesome.
Just amazing. I'm jealous that you were in the same room with the man because
I didn't get to talk to him, but he had a consultant or somebody he was talking to, but our tour guide said, maybe he'll come over and talk to us, but he didn't.
Yeah.
He was engaged in something important, it seemed like. But yeah, it was cool. That's a good tour. That's one of my favorites, along with, of course, Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace, man.
Yeah, I was watching an interview on him earlier today, and they mentioned, he goes out and he does the selling of the bourbon. It's unbelievable if you think about it. He's the 3rd master distiller in Wild Turkey history, and he is the one that goes out there and is promoting his product.
Yeah, he still goes to like whiskey festivals, tasting events.
Yeah, and they said that would be comparable to like Henry Ford going out and trying to sell you a car. I mean, it's mind-boggling to me. So I really want to get down there and hopefully get to meet the man, the myth, and the legend.
That'd be cool.
All right, so on to our drink for this evening. As I said, it is the Russell's Reserve Rye 6-year. It's a 90 proof bourbon, and it was created by both Jimmy and Eddie Russell. It won a silver medal and best of class at the 2010 International Wine and Spirits Competition and a gold medal at the 2014 San Francisco World Spirits Competition.
Nice.
It runs around $40 a bottle, at least
30 to 40,
Yeah, that's what we saw. We went to several liquor stores today. Yes, I said several liquor stores today. And that's pretty much what we found it as.
Read the sign. Nothing says I mean business like using a shopping cart at the liquor store.
That's right.
We're doing that soon.
I do grab one, Anytime there's a shopping cart at the liquor store, I do grab one.
Yeah, we pull him like,
you never know.
A shopping cart. Where are you going? She's like, we're going shopping. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So Russell's Reserve is kind of their premium, Wild Turkey's premium line, right?
Right.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
All right, so do we want to get down to tasting
let's do it.
some of this stuff?
Nick, we're going to finally get to the tasting here.
Yeah, Nick.
So,
sorry we took so long and we talked so much.
All I have on the mash bill is that it looks like they said it's a barely, some have said it's a barely legal rye. Others dispute that, meaning it would have to be at least 51% rye to be a rye. So we imagine that it's probably somewhere in the 60 to 70 range.
Yeah, I didn't grab the mash bill. That's one of the things I didn't grab. I did grab the nose, taste, and the finish notes. If you want me to do that, do you want to try to nose it first before I give it away?
Sure, let's give it a little nose.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I get a hint of rye, like you said. It's not overpowering rye to me.
I'm gonna say on the taste before you go there, I'm gonna taste some cigar because I have some ashes in there.
Oh.
So I definitely smell the cigar. Just kidding.
Do you want to smell mine?
I get
no. Ash, I don't
I
care.
almost get something floral, like
I'm gonna get
rose petals.
Yeah.
I get the oak or some kind of wood in there.
Yeah, I definitely get that.
Sure. You get some
No, I get caramel.
fruit and some.
Yeah, I'm getting
maybe
a fruit almost.
burnt sugar or
Yeah.
carameled sugar.
I get fruit, but I don't know.
It's got a really nice complex nose.
It does. It's very good blended. The blend,
It is. It is
Mm.
very good blend. Everything just comes together on the nose.
Yeah.
So the notes that I have here says the nose is caramel, followed by a big slap of rye, accompanied by some butterscotch, red berries, vanilla, dill,
Oh, I don't get any dill.
and then some wood comes sliding in. There goes my childish. Okay.
Gotta get the wood in there.
Underneath to support the whole thing. I can't ever do this.
Barnyard hay.
Oh, I thought you were going to say barnyard humor.
Was it Confucius say, "Woman who sit on wood have splinter the next morning"? Just wrote that, kid. Just wrote that.
Okay. Palate, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go in.
Mm. Man.
It starts really soft.
I get a lot of
A
caramel.
lot
on
of
the
rye.
taste.
I get a lot of rye spice.
I get rye spice on the
Brown
aftertaste.
sugar, kind of.
Yeah, it's sweet for
It's
sure.
really, really
is.
good balance.
It is.
There's a little butteriness there.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I didn't get the butterscotch on the nose, but I do taste the butterscotch.
I don't get the butterscotch yet.
What about you guys?
I'm gonna let that sit.
Second tongue is definitely butterscotch.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mark?
Butterscotch.
I'm not getting the butterscotch. I'm
Me
getting
neither.
caramel.
I'm not getting a lot of
Maybe that's
caramel.
just 'cause it's rye.
Yeah, I'm not getting any of the butterscotch.
I'm not a big
Lot
rye
of
fan,
rye
but
spice.
I like this.
Yeah.
It's very good.
But I like it too.
Dan Ruth says that this is one of his favorites that you introduced him to.
Ah.
All right, Dan. Good to have you here.
Kiss ass Dan.
What's Dan drinking? What's Dan drinking tonight?
I don't think he said.
Anyok?
Jennifer says she really likes Russell's. She could always use a shopping cart at the liquor store.
I don't get any of the.
Like her,
I don't.
Karen.
I don't get any of the butterscotch, but man, I'll tell you what, I get caramel. You get that rye at the end, but it's so smooth. It's really smooth for a rye, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, there's no
Wow.
It's dry.
none of that.
It is dry.
None of that bite.
A lot of
but
oaky
it's-
dryness.
Dry.
Absolutely.
I'm going to come
But
back.
that's what I love.
Yeah. No,
The
I
rye,
don't
this is
mind it
what
at all.
When I want to reach for a rye, this is what I'm after.
I'm going to come back to the comments when you were talking about the mash bill. Eric Black joined us. Hey, Eric.
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 He said Wild Turkey has one mash bill. It's 75, 13, 12.
Ah.
That's corn, rye, and barley. So 75 corn, 13 rye, and 12 barley. So
Gotcha.
Eric, Wild Turkey
But for-
rye recipe
is six-
is 37 corn, 51 rye, 12
Oh, so it
barley.
is a barely rye.
It is barely right. Yeah.
Thank you, Eric. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Eric.
He's always a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, he is very intelligent. Good guy.
So
Yeah, that's I don't know. I just love the balance of this.
It's fantastic.
And every
really
sip, you get a blossom of a lot of different things, and none of it's overstated or
no, it's
harsh in any ways.
it's really smooth.
so
It really
It's a
is.
beautiful whiskey.
It is.
It really is.
the taste notes that I have say caramel rye, vanilla,
Mhm.
which I do taste the vanilla
Mhm.
now.
I do too.
And wood completely dominate the palate,
Mm-hmm.
but it leaves little cracks for some leather, pepper,
Okay.
and an ambiguous baking spice to slip in.
That could be the brown sugar and all that other stuff.
Well,
When
I
I
get the
when I
pepper.
think of baking
I still
spice, I
get a
think of
little-
like all
I'm still
spice.
getting
so
the
it's
butter, something buttery with it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I didn't get any of the
Even
red fruit, but I do. I almost wanted to say green apple, but I didn't say it because I didn't. It wasn't prominent enough to comment on it. But I do taste some kind of fruit in there. Maybe it is the red fruit. I don't know, but
I'm not getting the red fruit. I
Yeah.
don't.
I got some kind of
But it
fruit
hit-
out of it, but I don't know.
Maybe.
But very
hint of
small
like a
hint of
citrus
yes.
at the
Yeah,
end or something.
very good. Very good.
So really nice whiskey.
So
45% ABV.
1 to 5. What do you think, kids?
I'll go first. I'm gonna go with a 4.1.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
Any explanation or just?
I just it's very very good.
It is very good. What about you, Miss Karen?
I'm definitely 4.5 solid. 4.5 solid on this one.
Wow. Okay.
I do. When you said blended, when we
Mhm.
smelled it on the nose,
Right.
I think that carries over into the taste as well.
Sure.
And it wraps kind of a slight rye with a woody butterscotch taste to me. And maybe I'm ranking it so high because mentally I know it's wild turkey, so
Right.
I'm favoring it. And maybe part of that is I didn't pregame today, so this is actually the first sip that I've had today, so I don't have anything affecting my palate either. So I just feel like it just comes together really nicely, and I give it a 4 or 5.
Okay.
All right, Big G.
Well, believe it or not, I was torn. I was going to say 4 to 4.5. You said 4.5, and you said 4.1, and I'm going to hang right in there. I'll say a 4.2.
Okay, splitting the difference.
Split the
Sort of.
difference.
Well,
So,
There you have it.
a very good feedback from the Whiskey Roundtable right there.
Yeah, that's a
Fantastic.
really, really nice whiskey.
well, I'm going to be rude and finish mine off. So,
Go for it. I'm gonna savor this a little bit more.
All right. So,
Delicious.
awesome.
what do we got? What's next?
Do we want to? I was kind of going after the Whiskey Wizard this week because I was
Yeah.
really excited about this week's segment.
We have a special segment with some guests this week. Well,
Can I?
Yeah, go
Can I,
ahead.
can I interrupt you 1 second? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Before we go any further, I apologize to our audience. What do you kids think? 1 to 5. 4. Mark says a 4. Sean, what do
4.
you think?
Rye's not my favorite, but I
Oh.
would make this a 3.5.
3.5. Okay.
3.5.
All right.
Okay.
So 4 out of 5 ain't bad. Wasn't
right.
that a song?
2 out of 3 ain't bad. That was
That was
Meatloaf.
close.
Full of stupid knowledge. Full of it.
Useless.
Useless now.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks,
like,
Mark.
what's that going to do for me in life? Meatloaf, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Woo! You win nothing.
Go back to the ball game. No,
And go sit down.
too funny. So we talked getting ready to do the Whiskey Wizard. I unfortunately I was not able to watch the pre-recorded show. So
Shame.
I know it's been a tough couple of weeks for me. But
You tell me about it.
so is that where we're going?
yeah, why don't we just get into it and then we can talk about it afterwards.
Sounds good.
And I will tell you guys, when you watch this Whiskey Wizard, get your notebook out because you're going to want to take some notes because there's some really, really good cocktail recipes coming up. And, you can always, if you don't have time to grab anything, check back with us and watch it on YouTube. But some
Absolutely.
really, really great recipes coming up.
Awesome.
So,
So we'll see you after a little bit.
yeah, this is a longer segment. So enjoy and hope you pick up some tips on this one.
All right, we'll be right back, kids.
All right, hang tight.
See you in a bit.
Whiskey Wizard! It's the Whiskey Wizard!
Hello and welcome to the Whiskey Wizard, where we say that whiskey making takes scientific knowledge, an artisan's skill and dedication, and a bit of the wizard's alchemy of light, air, earth, and fire. So as we look forward to a return to normalcy, that means we'll soon finally be able to join our friends at our favorite establishments for some socializing and enjoying our favorite libations. At such gatherings with friends, especially as we move into the warmer months, I'm a bit more likely to look forward to a refreshing cocktail as my choice of social lubricant. And for us whiskey fans, there are plenty of great American whiskey-based cocktails out there. By the way, a cocktail is an alcoholic mixed drink which is either a single spirit or blending of spirits, then mixed with other ingredients such as fruit juice, flavored syrup, or cream. Technically, when a mixed drink contains only a single distilled spirit and a mixer, it is considered a highball. The word's believed to have been derived in the early 1800s from the slang term for a horse that was not a thoroughbred. Those horses typically had their tails docked, thus getting the name cocktail. Since the new drink fad was something other than the purebred spirit, as it were, they got the nickname cocktails. Since many of us soon may be entertaining guests in our homes again, I thought we should cover some of the useful cocktails that can be made from our favorite spirit. While I can make a good Manhattan, I'm afraid I'm no cocktail whiz. My son Cameron, however, is a certified bartender and mixologist. I've asked him to help me with this, so here he is, along with assistance from his girlfriend Lauren.
Thank you, Whiskey Wizard, and now allow us to whisk you away to the wonderful world of cocktail making. My name is Cameron Dunbar.
And I'm Lauren Slater.
And today we're going to be making 3 different cocktails for you. The first one is going to be a Manhattan. The second one will be an old-fashioned cocktail. And the third one is going to be something a little fun called a Boulevardier. And I'll grab what we need for the Manhattan first.
So the Manhattan is a cocktail from the late 1800s. The most common story about the origin of the Manhattan is that it came from the Manhattan Club in New York City. That story's probably fake, but who knows? It's a cocktail made usually with rye whiskey, although bourbon Manhattans are also popular.
Go on.
Today we have a Templeton 4-year-old rye as our spirit for our drink.
Yeah, it's honestly like my go-to for making a rye Manhattan. Get your tumbler or mixing glass. First things first, you just want to take... I do want to say, with all of these recipes, people do things all different kinds of ways. I'm going to teach you the way that I like and the way that I like to do it. So you're just going to take your whiskey and measure out 1.5 ounces. There we go. Put that in your cup.
By the way, I think your preferred way of making a Manhattan also is the international beverage community's standard Manhattan.
Probably. So the second ingredient that you need to have once you select your spirit is sweet vermouth. I'm using Noilly Prat here, which is like pretty much my go-to. But all you need is 0.5 ounce of that. One of the reasons why I really like this cocktail is because it can vary so wildly based on which spirit you're using, which rye, which bourbon. Add a little bit of Angostura bitters, which you can find at any grocery store, frankly, grocery store, bar store, and you just do a little dash of that in there.
You'll notice Cameron is putting in the ice at the very last possible moment. Whatever climate you're in, you want to limit the amount of ice melt you get in your drink so you don't dilute it, because that's a sad way for your drink to turn out.
So you'll notice that I'm not using the shaker top for my shaker here. When you make a cocktail that uses only spirits and alcohol, you always stir it. You always want to stir your Manhattan so it doesn't get too diluted. That's really the main difference between stirring or shaking. James Bond always said, give it to me shaken, not stirred, about his martinis, and that's because technically you're supposed to stir a martini, but it takes longer. So there we go.
And the traditional garnish for a Manhattan is a maraschino cherry, or sometimes more specifically, a Luxardo cherry, which is the darker and a little bit more intense variety.
So these you can get at any grocery store, usually, definitely at any liquor store they should have them. And you just want to take one of your cherries.
Trader Joe's has some surprisingly good ones.
Trader Joe's has some great ones. I'll just put that right in there. And that's a Manhattan. It's really easy. It's one of my go-to cocktails. And again, I love it because it is really lets the spirit shine through. And it's my go-to, honestly, at pretty much any bar.
Now that you know how to make a Manhattan, if you take a look at the drink menu at almost any of your favorite bars or restaurants, you'll almost always be able to find one drink on their house menu that's really a Manhattan in disguise, with a slightly different bitters or a slightly different vermouth, or it's a Manhattan but we added a little difference.
Yeah, it's one of those classic cocktails.
One of those endlessly variable cocktails that you can kind of dress up in a million different ways. Our second cocktail for the evening is the Old Fashioned.
This is definitely one where I have learned like 3 or 4 different ways of making it that I've all heard of as the definitive way. I'm going to teach you the way that is my favorite and is like the way that we used to do it at the bar that I worked at. So we're going to start with just an empty old-fashioned glass. What you want to start with is really just a piece of sugar. So I'm using Damara sugar, which is just a fancy brown sugar. You can use a regular old sugar cube. Or actually you can skip ahead, and if you have simple syrup, you can totally use that too, and just use like a little teaspoon of simple syrup. So you just put the sugar in your glass to start with there, and then I'm going to take that same Angostura that we were using, the Angostura bitters. You really should just buy this because you use it in like any good cocktail. And I put that in there. So we've got our Angostura, and then what I'm going to do is actually just take a little tiny bit of water, and essentially I'm just making a simple syrup in here, but you're just adding a little bit of water in there to mix. You just need a tiny little bit.
Just enough that you're able to muddle the sugar cube.
Exactly. So then the next step is you're just going to take a muddler, or if you don't have like any kind of a thing like this, you can just use a spoon or a fork or whatever, but you just got to break up the sugar, and this is the part that can take a little bit of time. So if you'd like to stall, you're more than welcome to while I just go to town on this little sugar cube here.
So the first reference to an old-fashioned that has been recorded in the text is actually from 1850. It was in the United States. Unfortunately, I've forgotten where, because I'm not Doug Dunbar. But it was in the United States, and it was referring to the old-fashioned manner of enjoying a whiskey. There are people out there, especially in that turn of the previous century, who would say there are 3 ways to enjoy a whiskey: with ice, by itself, or in an old-fashioned.
So what you're really going for is just that. Just get your sugar cube all broken down. When you're, just really quick, proper muddling technique, you want to push and twist. That's how you break it up. Again, traditionally, old fashions were made with rye, but we're going to use bourbon today because I sometimes really like my old fashions with a bourbon. I'm going to use Basil Hayden's because that's just one of my favorites. So for this one, you're actually going to do 2 ounces. So I'm going to do 1.5 ounces on this side, and then I'm going to just do another 1/2 ounce on this side. And then what I like to do is use a big ice cube, 1 single big ice cube, put that in there. Again, so it doesn't get diluted. That's really the main thing. So you'll see this one, we didn't shake, we just built it right in the glass. So a single ice cube. And then finally, for a garnish, you want to use an orange. Just take an orange and a peel for your get that orange peel.
And the real point of this garnish isn't for decoration, really. It's about the fragrance and the nice bitter oils that are in that orange rind.
So what you want to do, you just take it, give it a little squeeze right over your drink, rub it on the outside there. And there you go. That's an old-fashioned cocktail for you. Another one of my favorites, one of my go-tos. I generally like, my rule of thumb is I do a Manhattan before dinner and I do an old-fashioned after dinner.
This is actually the first time I've had one with Basil Hayden's, and that's amazing.
Yeah, it's, again, these cocktails are all about the whiskey choice, and the different whiskeys that you use are going to make your cocktail go one way or the other.
Which is why we're giving you these cocktails. If we were coming up with a list of cocktail recipes for people who aren't necessarily whiskey lovers, we might go with a whiskey sour where you can't really tell what whiskey it was to start with. So the last cocktail that we're going to make tonight is called a Boulevardier. It's something that's like a little bit different and a little bit more funky. Basically, what it is just a Negroni, if anyone knows what that is, a Negroni that's made with bourbon instead. So we use bourbon instead of a Negroni, which is typically made with gin. This one comes from a 1931 article in a gentleman's magazine that came out in the South. The Boulevardier was the drink for the fashionable man about the town, was the idea with the name. In that original article, it was described as the Negroni's more worldly cousin.
So again, we're going to go right ahead with the Basil Hayden's. So you just do 1.5 ounces, which you'll notice is a pretty typical measurement. 1.5 ounces of that Basil Hayden's Goes right in the glass there. And then again, this is another one that the recipe kind of can vary. So you can either do it as equal parts Basil Hayden's, Campari, and Sweet Vermouth, or what I just did, I actually do a little bit more whiskey because I like mine to be a little bit stronger. So instead of using equal parts and just doing 1 ounce of each, I'm going to do 3/4 of an ounce of my Campari here. This is another liqueur that you can get at any good liquor store will have this. It's used in so many cocktails. Pretty much any bar should have it.
Don't be fooled by the name liqueur or the bright red color. I know it looks like it would be sweet. It isn't. It's made with orange peels, and it's a very, very bitter cocktail that really can shock some people their first time trying it because it doesn't smell like it tastes, and it doesn't look like it tastes.
We're just going to do 3/4 of an ounce of the Sweet Vermouth. The same thing that we used in our Manhattan is going to go into this guy. And you add all your ingredients here, and then just give it some ice. And then just like the Manhattan, we're going to stir it. We're not going to shake it, again, because we don't want to make the drink too watered down. Just give it a little stir in your cup. You can use a regular old spoon. This isn't important. Strain it into our martini glass or a coupe glass. Just like that.
So in this one you have a choice of garnish. It's actually either a cherry or a orange peel.
I have only ever made it with an orange peel, which I think really complements that.
Which is what I prefer too,
character.
because of the Campari. That's what I'd prefer to go with as well.
There you go. You just take your orange peel. Same story. This one actually you can add bitters if you want to. You can give it a little dash of the Angostura, which I actually think I'm going to do in the wrong order, but I think I want to do that. So just give it a little dash of the Angostura, and there you go. That's your Boulevardier cocktail. This one's a little bit different. It's not going to be for everybody. It definitely has some of that bitter character, but I also love this cocktail. So that's your 3 cocktails for the cocktail session of the Whiskey Wizard this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, feel free to send some comments over to the guys at the Whiskey Roundtable, and I'm sure they'll find the way to me, and hopefully we can do this again sometime. So signing off, I'm Cameron Dunbar.
And I'm Lauren Slater, and I'm keeping this one.
We'll see you around.
Thanks to Cameron and Lauren for that. That's all for now. This is Douglas Dunbar, the Whiskey Wizard, for the Whiskey Roundtable, and now back to the live show. Which camera?
All right.
Alrighty
that was amazing.
That was good.
Amazing. And
so,
wow, look what we have.
Yeah,
we were
what did we
busy
taste?
while that was going on, following Cameron's directions and
Yep.
and Lauren's directions, and
Here we are.
so what are we drinking? I've got the Boulevardier.
Pinky's out.
He's out on the Man About Town. So
And I
this
have
is the one with the Campari.
Yeah, I've got the old fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
And Greg, you have the
I have the
Manhattan.
Manhattan. Thank you. You can tell I don't drink this stuff that often, so got to help me out here. And the kids got Manhattans as well.
They got
Old
they have
Old
old-fashioned.
fashions. Excuse me. Old fashions.
All right, well, why don't we try these just a little bit? I've never had this one before, so.
All right.
made them just the way Cameron told us.
All right, Cameron.
Yummy.
Yep. And it's healthy.
Oh, that's good.
Citrusy.
That's really good. That's with.
Oh
Man.
It's not actually. I expected it to be more bitter, but the
that is tasty.
This is dangerous.
Yeah.
That's very dangerous.
So's this one.
That is really.
yeah,
Let
this
me
would
try
be.
it.
This is a nice.
Quit playing.
Quit bogarting it.
Don't put your lips all over that.
So this is a nice cocktail.
What Cameron wants to know which whiskey.
Ooh, that's
we
good,
used
too.
the Bullet Rye for the Manhattan, and Four Roses Single Barrel was the choice for our bourbon today.
Wow.
That is very, very, very good.
So thanks, guys. That
Yeah,
was
Cameron.
very good, very educational.
And Mrs. Cameron.
I've written all that down so that I have that as a reference. So
Chris Snyder wants to know where's his drink. Hey, now that you know, Cameron taught you,
Yeah.
go give it a try.
Yeah, get off your
your
wallet,
own,
Chris.
man.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
I know you may have to take a ride into another state to get your alcohol, but
Yeah, Chris. Yeah.
Ohio doesn't share booze.
Great state you live in, Chris. Browns are looking pretty good right now, aren't they?
Wonder what Chris is drinking tonight.
Let's see. I think
Apparently out of his shoe.
a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
Budweiser.
Budweiser. Natural, light, extra light. Yeah.
The BV special.
Uh-huh. Oh, my
Dalwhinnie
goodness.
15.
Is that what he's drinking?
Oh, Dalwhinnie 15. Yep. And
Oh,
he says
good.
Aldi's has fantastic cherries.
Mm-hmm.
That's what big dog said.
Why am I not surprised that he shops at Aldi?
Hey, we love Aldi's.
Like we all do.
We friggin'
right.
love Aldi. Dude, this drink is amazing.
It is very good.
Good.
I really
Yeah,
like
I-
this. Cameron, you know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
because-
Cameron. What?
Well, what's it they said?
about-
There's
what
only
about-
they
what
used to
about it?
say there's only 3 ways to have whiskey. That's straight with an ice cube or as an old fashioned.
Very, very good.
Christopher Snyder just called us bastards. That's right.
Hey, easy.
And we wear that shit proud. Kid.
Yeah, that's right. You mess with us, you mess with the whole trailer park, Chris.
That's right.
Just so you know.
No shame in our game.
That's right. It's because you got a double wide, son. Don't mean to be cocky. You know what I'm saying?
You know, this is great. I can taste and smell the orange peel, even though it's down at the bottom underneath my ice cube.
Right. And I just put just a few drops of bitters in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this
Really
this is
I
this
had,
is great.
I had Shauna try walnut bitters with soda water. Very good.
There's
It
good.
was good. Bartender friend of ours turned us
Yeah.
on to that.
It tastes like root beer to me.
It does taste
I love
exactly
it.
like root beer.
It's fantastic. All right, I'm gonna have a little bit more.
Can I try that, or are you looking
Do
to
you
go
want to try
that
it?
too?
Anybody want to try the Boulevardier?
You want to try it? Anybody? No.
I bet I'm the only one tonight drinking a Boulevardier.
You are the only one drinking a Boulevardier.
In Ohio.
Ooh.
Isn't that good?
You are the man about town, so.
That's it. So when we
Fitting.
come over, you're gonna make us Manhattans and Boulevardiers.
Yeah, I can make Manhattan's has been it's like the one cocktail I do, and that and martinis.
Gotcha.
That is really good.
It's really good.
Yeah, so we're getting into that time when hopefully we'll be able to socialize a little more. And I like the summer. That's when I'll have a nice cold cocktails. Sometimes it just sounds better. Right?
Yeah, we're June babies.
Yep.
Got birthdays coming up.
June
20th.
19th.
9.
Gemini's in the house.
Gemini.
Mine's in the house.
Not me.
No.
Never.
Libra. Okay.
Libra. Capricorn.
Oof.
My mom's the 13th.
Just kidding.
13th of January.
June.
Oh, June. Okay.
We got lots of Junes, Mays.
I'd say 90% of all of my friends are Capricorn.
You're right.
90%.
Good trailer parks now.
Yeah, that's right. Watch it, you might wake up in a wood chipper. Just saying.
Capricorn parking only. In a wood
All
chipper.
right.
A wood chipper.
Well, we're getting, we're probably time to do some news. And wrap
All right, let's
things
do
up
some
here.
news.
Why don't we do that?
Do some news. You guys gonna tag team this week again?
Yeah.
All right,
I'll
who's
go-
gonna
yeah,
go 1st
I'll go first.
You go
I'll go
first,
first.
G.
Okay, since we're talking about Wild Turkey today, Wild Turkey has announced the 5th edition to their Top Shelf Masters Keep series. A 17-year-old bottled and bond Kentucky straight whiskey, kids. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, do
Yes,
tell,
sir.
do tell.
Master Keep's expression had a 17-year age statement, then making it the oldest bourbon ever to come from the distillery.
Huh.
However, it was bottled in a very, very low barrel strength at just 86.8 proof for an interesting comparison with the new addition to the collection. So, they'll both share the standard Wild Turkey mash bill: 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley.
Which is what Eric Black said.
That's what Eric Black
It
said.
is what Eric said.
Good going, Eric.
All right.
Eric, you got to come back and do the show. We'll pick out something. We'll have some fun, brother. Appreciate you. The new Masters Keep will also I'm sorry. The new Master's Keep will also be the second ever Wild Turkey bottled in bond. So their famous 101 proof is found on the distillery's flagship bourbon and on Kentucky Spirit. But as for the bottled in bond bourbons, the rare 15-year-old American Spirit released in 2007 was their first. Until now, only 100 proofers. American Spirit released a celebration of only the uniquely American liquor. Bourbon was purportedly bottled in bond to celebrate another uniquely American distinction. The Bottled in Bond Act was passed in 1897 to ensure certain standards of American whiskey and is still a seal of quality to this day. All bottled in bond bourbons must be a minimum of 4 years old to be bottled at exactly 100 proof.
So
And
when,
yeah,
Good.
yeah.
when does that come out? I'm sorry.
It's gonna be well. Let me get to the rest of it here.
Oh,
I think
okay,
it says
go.
on the back side of it. So, what was your question though? What did you say your question was?
Yeah, so that's a bottle and bond that they're.
Correct. The
How
second
many-
one, yeah.
That's only the second.
Right. So with our own Master's Keep bottled in bond, we took the historic process and protocol of aging 4 years to the next level and allowed the liquid to rest for 17 years, said Eddie Russell, master distiller of Wild Turkey. Wow. We aged and perfected this rare 17-year-old bourbon in Wild Turkey Camp Nelson rickhouses. Camp Nelson rickhouses. So, didn't we talk a little bit about that earlier?
Yep.
I think we did, yep.
Yeah. The expression is a nod to the past, both our own heritage and the heritage of the American whiskey making as a craft. All right.
Nice.
Hang on one second here. Wild Turkey Master Keep, 17-year-old bottled and bond will be beginning to be arriving on shelves in the next couple of weeks, and has already been spotted in North Carolina.
Let's go.
Yeah. Just 14,400 of these bottles will be released for a suggested retail price, $175.
I'd pay for that. I would do it in a heartbeat.
So there you go.
So Tamdu, the popular Speyside distillery, has unveiled a new limited edition spirit. Was going to be for the Spirit of Speyside Festival. I don't know if that's probably going to be taking place, but nonetheless, they did create the Tamdu Distillery Manager single cask. It's very limited at 598 bottles. So each bottle costs about $300 American dollars, but it should have some limited availability in the U.S. soon. So something to be looking out for if you're into some of the more rare single malts that are released. And I think we talked about this not too long ago. Diageo there was talk of them working with some distillers in China to create a China whiskey. I think I said what I heard was a single malt, but it seems that's not the case. It's but they are combining up with China's third largest Baijiu distiller. Baijiu is the kind of national spirit drink in China. I've had it, and I'll just leave it at a no comment. But this whiskey collaboration,
Even Mark's over there going.
it's being distilled in Scotland and then aged in China, and part of that aging is in ceramic vessels. So 80% of all alcohol consumption in China takes place during the evening meal. So therefore, the goal is to introduce the product that has many of the characteristic flavors of whiskey combined with the familiar shitty Baijiu flavor. So
The what Baijiu flavor?
What was that?
Shitty
what-
Baijiu.
What was that
What?
adjective?
What?
Shitty bang bang?
that's
Shitty,
why I
shitty
put a
bait.
little bit of my own editorializing in there.
Come on
but,
now.
But anyway, that would be. I'm going to say that would probably be very unique, and I just well, who's to say? Diageo kind of knows what they're doing when it comes to whiskey. But,
Not their first rodeo.
All right,
that's all I have.
I just have a little bit more news. A new 18-year-old bourbon whiskey costs only $70, but for how long? Paying homage to the former owner. Yeah. You can tell this stuff's kicking me now. Paying homage to the former owner, Colonel E.H. Taylor Jr., Buffalo Trace has announced a new 18-year-old bourbon created from marriage of 3 mash bills. The release will drop in June. It features 2 rye bourbon mash bills and 1 wheated bourbon mash bill.
Ooh.
So that's coming out here in June, kids. The new E.H. Taylor's.
Birthday present. Birthday present.
I think so. I think so.
How about Greg gets you the E.H. Taylor, and he can buy me the 17-year-old wild turkey.
It's a deal. It's a deal.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, did somebody say something?
I didn't.
All right. Well, that's.
Sorry, I keep thinking I see a spider, and I just keep turning. I don't know. Ignore me.
Just
I've been doing it for 20 years.
Cruising down the boulevard, baby.
I had 2 good years in there.
That's good. That's
Oh
actually
my
quite
goodness. All right, that's all I got, kids.
Campari, it's different. So, we're about to wrap up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some closing words of wisdom?
Yeah, we'll have a couple this time.
Okay.
So I just saw this is a Scottish saying that I thought was neat. My girlfriend is just a simple whiskey maker, but I love her still.
Do-do-doom.
Okay. Whiskey and alcohol may be a man's worst enemy, but the Bible says to love your enemy. Frank Sinatra.
There you
And
go.
I'll point out that Frank was quite reverent when it came to that particular commandment.
Amen.
Yes, and Jack Daniels named a bourbon after him.
I sure
so.
did.
So, well, that's about it. So, folks, whatever you're going through out there, a whiskey may not fix things, but give it a shot.
Amen. It'll make you feel better.
It'll sure help. Trust me.
Or
I
make
know.
you sleep in a little longer. One or the other. I'm not sure.
All right.
All right. That's all we got.
Good?
So, kids, we'll see you next week. I appreciate y'all watching, and thanks for the feedback. Eric, thank you for the feedback. Always great knowledge from you. I appreciate that. And
Thanks
hopefully we
again
see
to,
you soon too after COVID.
To Cameron and Lauren
Yeah,
for
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cameron
helping
and
out
Lauren,
with the
great
Whiskey
job.
Wizard tonight.
That was very, very good. Cameron, you didn't shake like I thought you were going to shake, but you did a good job, brother. But Mama did much better. No ifs, ands, or buts. So
Aw.
sorry, buddy. So we'll see you kids next week. We appreciate y'all, and then enjoy your weekend. Okay. Till next time. We are the Whiskey Roundtable. Big G.
Karen Helen Keller.
Doug Dunbar.
See you next week.
Be safe,
So long,
all.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Have a good weekend.
If whiskey stopped working, every bar in town would be closing their doors, shutting down. Everybody would be trapped with their thoughts, 'cause nothing numbs the pain like bourbon or scotch. Oh no, oh no, no. If whiskey stopped working, where the hell would I be? Probably wasting lots of money trying therapy. If whiskey stopped working, what the hell would I do? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be over you. If whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, oh, whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped. Poor Jack D would be out of a job. Jameson and Bean would be cut off. Hank Williams' songs wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, this whole damn world would be a mess. Oh yeah. this town, leaving Tennessee.